So I guess you could say I'm a bit of a pancake connoisseur. I've had a few of them in my life. And these pancakes that Lisa's about to show you are just hands down the best pancakes that you're ever going to sink your teeth into. There's no comparison with pancakes from a restaurant, you know, Cracker Barrel or any of those, or the premixes from the grocery store. They don't hold a candle to this. And even the homemade, made from scratch pancakes, I've had plenty of those. And these are just absolutely the best, and they're healthy. You got to try these things out.
So Nick mentioned this is our favorite pancake recipe, and we start off with 1.5 cups of whole grain white wheat flour. I really like to use the Wheat Montana flour because their growing practices are really excellent.
Oh, is that yummy? Okay, so let's do some sugar.
With whole grain flours, I've found that I usually need to add a little bit more sweetener. So I use a tablespoon of organic cane sugar, but you could use honey or maple syrup, whatever you prefer. Probably just use a tablespoon of honey, and you'd want to mix it with your liquids later if you used honey. But with sugar, you can just dump a tablespoon in. Then half a teaspoon of salt. We add that, just helps to bring out the flavor. I've forgotten the salt a couple of times. It's terrible. Don't forget the salt. Anyway, I love having my kids help me in the kitchen. This recipe literally takes me 5 minutes to throw together. So my kids love to get in there and help me with cooking and baking in the kitchen. So this is no exception. This is a typical Sunday morning breakfast that we often do. So, oh yes, watch out for those irresistible blueberries. So I use 2 teaspoons of baking powder in my recipe. It really helps make it very light. And I always use the aluminum-free baking powder.
Go ahead and mix that up. You're going to measure the blueberries in. Okay, so we got to put the blueberries in there. Can you mix that all together for Mama? Oh, let's mix it all together first. Okay, so...
Gotta get a few blueberries in there. My kids love to taste test things. That's how they discover life. But we put a cup of blueberries into our pancakes. You can also add a cup of crushed walnuts, and that's really, really, really nice added to the recipe. I usually leave those out because my youngest is still teething quite a bit, and she doesn't prefer having the nuts in there. She always picks out the nuts. So I just finally left the walnuts out until someday I'll add them back in. But you can add a cup of walnuts. Now I add 2 cups of milk to the recipe. I use a nut milk, but you can use 1 cup of soy milk, 1 cup of water, and 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. The lemon juice will help the soy milk to thicken just a little bit. And that's also really nice. I often do that as well. Or I'll just use the 2 cups of walnut milk. Mix everything together and you are ready to fry up the pancakes.
Okay, it's ready for the frying.
And look what I found in my kitchen. No surprise. So this is the consistency you really want your pancake batter to be. If it's not thin enough, just add a little bit of water. So while we were frying the pancakes, guess what? We had a little escape artist. Yes, he stole my muck boots and ran outside in the rain. I love children. So you just check it, and after a minute or 2, flip the pancake over and let it bake or fry on the other side, and then you have your pancakes ready for breakfast. It takes me probably 10 or 15 minutes, and then I have breakfast served. It's wonderful.
I'm Nick Meisner, and I approve these pancakes. Actually, I ate them.